Well, hello, my friends. I'm so excited to be here with Teresa Martison. She's the executive director of Share Omaha. Just stepped into this position right after Thanksgiving. Teresa, first of all, it's so great to see you, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here today. Thanks, Andy.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about you and kind of what brought you to this position. But before we go there, let's just talk about Share Omaha when it launched and kind of the overall like the mission of the organization.
Right. The mission was to find this place to make it possible for the community. It's like an online gathering place, right? That local philanthropists and foundations wanted to create for the Omaha metro area. So that gathering place is set up for volunteer needs, places to give, shopping for good, wish lists, and then also for events. So that nonprofits could be part of this community meeting place, but they don't pay a dime for it, but they get to post all that information that the giving public and volunteering public can access.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about you again. Like I said, you found yourself in this position, and I know that they were searching, far and wide for someone when Marjorie Moss took a bigger role in the organization, and here you find yourself as the executive director. And uh, talk to me about your involvement in the community and why you wanted to do this, which I'm so happy that you are doing this. I'll say that.
Oh, I am too. So why the last 10, 11 years of the position before Share Omaha was doing community outreach and volunteering in the community and running a volunteer program for the company I worked for, an employee donation match program. So when I started that and then Share Omaha, I found out about Share Omaha, and I would always said, okay, where is that one place where, okay, I need to find volunteer opportunities. I need to find places to give. I need to find events. Where's that one place? And then Share Omaha was formed, and I found out that, Marjorie had, been there from the very start. And it was like, this place exists. So I've always kind of had my eyes on hopefully somehow helping Share Omaha in some way. And I did do that, did some volunteering. I mean, obviously, I accessed the platform for volunteer opportunities and just working with Marjorie for things we could do for the community and for our company and kind of harness all that energy that our employees had to give. And then, so when this became available and learning that Marjorie was going national with Share Good,
Yep.
for the hub to support Share Omaha and other cities in the United States, I thought this is amazing. And so we've got Marjorie at the national level, and I'm here now. It's something I've always had my eye on because I knew we could keep shifting philanthropy and just doing bigger impact in the Omaha metro area.
Yep.
And that's always been fueling what I had been doing at the company I was at. And so now to get to do it full focus and kind of be real radical about, how we can impact the metro area and just take it to the next level.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. And I'm so, so excited.
Okay. Well, first of all, again, I'm so glad you're here. And this is a big job, and this is a big role, because our community, just for me being, doing what I've been doing for over 30 years, there's so much here, and it takes, I mean, almost, it takes a village. It takes, having information being accessed by people and what they can do and how they can be involved. So let's talk a little bit about 2023. So looking ahead, I know one of the big things that for the last couple years was Giving Tuesday, right? The Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Some things happening in the spring, but I'm just gonna let you talk about 2023 and what are you most excited about, and kind of seeing what the future is.
So
Yeah.
you bet. So the future in the next year, here's what 2023 looks like. We've got, to date, we have more than 740 nonprofit organizations that use the platform, as I said, that, share all this information. And so what's going to happen in 2023 is we're going to take that to the next level. We're going to make it even more streamlined and simpler for folks to search for causes they care about. You want to know right away, who it helps, what are the causes I can search, what is the geographical area. So to streamline that even more and make it even simpler for nonprofits. One thing, an example of that is, okay, what about, I mentioned, companies that offer paid volunteer time. So let's streamline that connection real simply. If employees are looking for ways to volunteer where you are, we learned from the pandemic, right? Oh, we couldn't volunteer in person for the most part, but we sure learned different ways to volunteer in the metro area, right? So we're going to continue that in 2023. What are those opportunities to volunteer from where you are? For example, I can't leave my desk, or maybe I can't leave my building at work, but I could sure, go online and do some proofreading for a nonprofit. Maybe I'm a web designer. Okay, I could go to Share Omaha and find out what companies just need a couple 4 hours of website maintenance a month. That's volunteering. Volunteering is philanthropy, and it's kind of harnessing that thinking that it's not just treasure; it's time and talent. Skills-based volunteering. What are if someone can knit? Okay, babies need hats in the NICU, the American Heart Association. How can we find ways to harness, someone that has a hobby that could, harness that into volunteering. So that's what it looks like. We're also in 2023, I mentioned the 740, it's actually 741 nonprofit organizations. And they're in, Saunders, Washington, Dodge, Sarpy, Douglas County. We've got nonprofits in those counties, but how can we help them even more? How can we help, get real specific about volunteer needs and making sure they're positioned to focus on their mission and their critical outreach rather than always looking for volunteers. That's where we come in, is how can we help you? If you're Wahoo or Fremont or, Valley, Plattsmouth, Bellevue, more focus in North and South Omaha. And it's just really maximizing what we can do for the nonprofits and pull that energy from the community that has the time and talent and companies for that matter, that time, talent, and treasure. How can we harness that and just help our nonprofits? And there's more nonprofits, learning about each of the needs. There's so many stories to tell. So that's something you're also going to see in 2023 is, what are some of those things and needs we've never heard about? Or there's a nonprofit that's really fulfilling a niche that's so necessary. So how can Share Omaha in our platform, get that lift for nonprofits in 2023 and, in the future? So that's kind of how this, we're kind of in transition mode, but it's like, okay, what now? How can we be smarter and just make it so simple to volunteer, to give, to, extend your talent for something transformational and really simple to find. It's sort and filter, and there's something customizable for me. I could do that, So that's what 2023 looks like.
Yeah. Well, we're almost out of time. But that was so great. That was so much information that is so important that we know about, because a lot of times, we Share Omaha, first of all, been involved with them since the get-go, but doing so much for so many. And also, I mean, one of the questions you actually answered was, who do you serve? What are the communities you serve? Because they're, living in Omaha, Douglas County, there are communities outside that I can be looking at. Because again, it is, what am I, I'm kind of, I love animals. I have an adoption, I have adoption story there. There are things that I want to support. out in our community, out in the world, and just knowing what some of these organizations are and then how we can help. And it's not always money. I mean, it like you said, it's not always money. Money's good, but
Sure.
people
Right.
contribute other ways.
You
Yeah.
bet. And you nailed it. Animals, health, mental health, animals, children, seniors, military. There's all those causes and so many ways. So that's
Yeah.
right. It's sort and filter by all of those categories.
Yep. Um, well, Teresa, I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. We will be having lots of conversations throughout 2023 to talk about Share Omaha and what's happening and how people can get involved. And I just am really, first of all, congratulations again to this position. It's going to be so great to work with you and everybody at Share Omaha. And we're just excited. Yeah. 2023.
Yep, that's right. Thank you, Andy. It's gonna be a good year. I appreciate the time with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And folks, we will be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I am so excited to be here with Allison Zock. She is the Director, Marketing Communications and Events for ICAN, which is the Institute for Career Advancement Needs. Allison, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you, Andy. You're a great friend of ICAN for many years, so it's always nice to see you.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh, I think I was there from the beginning, on some level, but
Yeah.
So many great things are happening, and ICAN in itself has just evolved. I mean, that's one of the things as I've seen it's evolved over the years. So let's just talk about the mission, the organization, kind of who you serve and what it's all about before we kind of dive into some other things.
Yeah, absolutely great. So ICAN was founded in 1981. So we've been around here in the Omaha community for over 40 years now, a nonprofit organization. Founded by a group of women originally to develop and provide leadership development opportunities for men and women in business. And yes, like you said, we've definitely evolved. That leadership development core is still very strong. Our mission is to develop inspired, authentic leaders to transform the organizations and communities they serve. Primarily business leaders, but leaders of all types, of all industries, men and women. We do have a particular effort and service to the advancement of women leaders in the community through, of course, our annual conference, which I know we'll get a chance to talk about in a lot of our programs, but we really serve all leaders and really trying to hone in on the development of that authentic leadership. How can you lead more authentically? How do you grow in your self-awareness, your emotional intelligence, your whole brain thinking? How do you really collaborate and honor the thinking preferences and strengths of those that you work with on your team? Ethics, vision, really defining your leadership voice. And, our programs and services are there for organizations to really invest in their talent pipeline and their high potential leaders that they really want to develop to advance in their career and kind of have that dedicated time and transformative experience to really focus on themselves and kind of grow in their capability and kind of maximize their potential.
Right. So let me just kind of dive in and ask you. So we are going to talk about the conference, which is an epic every year. But let's just talk a little bit about the programs. You started to talk about them because they are for both men and women.
Yeah.
And then you have events around that. So let's dive in there first, and then we'll kind of like wrap it up with the conference and everything that's going on with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So ICAN offers a variety of things. And so to kind of take you through, we have open enrollment programs, most notably our Defining Leadership program that we run a few times a year for men and for women. It's a 4-month program. Really an incredible program. That program now has over 1,200 graduates. So
I I've been through it.
of
Yeah.
which Andy is one of those. So we have a really strong community of leaders that have been through that program. And definitely something that we're very proud of, very transformative program. So we have some open enrollment programs like that. We also offer a number of services. Custom programs, we've definitely seen a lot of growth and interest in, and have really grown in our roster of programs that we work one-on-one with an organization to kind of tailor build a program to run internally. Whether or not they're looking for a, 1 day like assessment-based workshop, or wanting to build out a program that they're going to run multiple cohorts through, or tailor an experience for maybe their frontline supervisors. We really, by nature of custom, we really can build a number of things and kind of, pick the curriculum components that will serve that organization's current business needs, organizational goals, maybe initiatives at hand, and really work one-on-one with our faculty that will be kind of delivering those programs. And those we do both in person and virtually. So that's great there too. Coaching, we do, we have our faculty roster is full of all certified coaches, many of which that have come with an executive leadership background, have worked in business as well. So we do both team and individual coaching, a number of different workshops and assessments, particularly around like the emergenetics assessment and some things of that nature, emotional intelligence. And then the third piece is the conferences and events. So we have our largest annual conference, and then also our 7x7x7 events that we're excited to bring back in 2023 after a little hiatus from the pandemic. So some additional leadership events for the community throughout the year as well.
Great. All right. Well, so let's talk about those. So let's just briefly, because the 777 event, those are so fun. And they're so, how many sevens are there behind? Is there 3 sevens? Or
there's 7 speakers, 7 minutes each, 7 different topics.
Yeah. And I always enjoyed those. And I know those had to kind of go away for a little bit. But you're bringing them back in 2023. How many are scheduled this year?
Well, we're going to bring it back in the fall, do one here in Omaha, and some of the details are still coming. We run that one in Lincoln as well. So we look forward to doing that as well. So hopefully doing it maybe early November. So we're looking forward to that. And those events, we really felt really resonate the best in person. We kind of create that intimate experience with the speakers and the circle conversations. And we really wanted to wait till we could bring those back. So we're excited to do that and feature leaders from our community.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about the conference, which is coming up in May. Always a new theme every year. So can you give us some insights on what it is and what we can expect? Because I know tickets are on sale as we're having this, as this airs. So so take it away, Allison.
Yeah, we're excited here to be kind of launching our 2023 ICAN Women's Leadership Conference, which is a special one because it is the 30th anniversary conference. So we've been holding this particular event since 1994. And it's really kind of grown and evolved to be quite kind of a world-class event that we're very honored to hold right here in Omaha. So yes, registration is opening this week. You can learn more about the conference specifics at icanconference.com. But this year, as you noted, we have a year-specific theme every year. We always look to develop topics that are really going to serve leaders today, kind of the thought leadership, what's going on in business, trends that leaders need to know to be successful. And this year we are focusing on 30 years of leading bold conversations. So as part of our celebration of the 30th anniversary, we're honoring all of the really important conversations and topics that we brought to the stage over the last 30 years through this event to really inspire and empower and inform not only our community and beyond, but, women leaders and how to advance in their career and grow in their leadership, and really kind of focus on what are the bold conversations that businesses and leaders need to be having today, particularly for the advancement of women. So we are going to be really helping attendees grow in their skill set and confidence to lead bold conversations themselves, to have bold conversations back at their workplaces with more courage, and have greater impact collectively. We're going to be discussing things like allyship, sustainability, women's health, how to negotiate how to hold and craft a difficult conversation, kind of communication skills like that, how to have a bold vision, and how to speak and kind of define your leadership voice in that way. So we're going to be talking about a lot of different topics that leaders are encountering every day. And how can we inspire you to lead those bold conversations, which ultimately lead to change and growth and advancement of our business community at large.
Yeah. You know what? I am so excited for this because again, that it plays into everything that really is a part of the business. And then the ripple effects from implementing that from somebody, you know, from the employer to the employees to team member. Yeah. It's just, it runs the gamut. So, okay. So tell us a little bit back before we end, dates, specifics, where we can get tickets and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So for the conference specifically, so we're looking forward to welcoming 3,000 plus attendees for the conference this year. It will again be hybrid, so you can join us in person on May 17th or virtually. We have also, in addition to being an attendee, of course, we have a number of partnership and sponsorship opportunities, exhibitors, volunteer opportunities, things of that nature as well. So definitely check out icanconference.com. And then I'd also love to direct everyone to our main conference website, which is icanleaders.org, where you can learn about all of our programs and services. We also have an opportunity to learn more about our donation opportunities for our ICAN Scholarship Fund. In addition to the ICAN Scholarship Fund, or I guess to kind of speak to that ICAN Scholarship Fund, is one of our 2023 is we were really growing in our access and reach of our programs to populations and geographic areas that might not otherwise always have access to leadership development experiences. And we're really kind of investing a lot of effort into growing those pieces. So if you'd like to help us do that and provide scholarship opportunities to deserving leaders to attend the conference or experience one of our programs, we appreciate that support as well.
Yeah. Great information for everybody. Allison, okay, any just last things you want to say before I let you go?
Well, we're just really grateful to serve not only the greater Omaha community, but the region and nationally, and just the work of developing leaders. And we'd love to help any organization, individual do that and kind of grow and develop and be part of a transformational leadership development experience. So we appreciate your support, and we're honored to be part of the nonprofit community here and do this work and support many organizations. So thank you. And we hope to see you at our event or conference or program soon.
Absolutely. Allison, again, thank you so much. And everyone, hope to see you at all these different programs and the conference on May 17th. So thank you so much.